Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. In today's review we're going to be taking a look at the history of the Dalek set number 4, which is based on the story The Daleks Masterplan. Now, as ever, the Daleks look fascinating, as we've now got a re-release of the Supreme Dalek, as well as another loved favourite, the Pyroflame Dalek. Once again, I'd like to thank my amazing girlfriend for picking up this set for me, as without her, this review would not be possible. So before we take a look at these figures, firstly, we're going to be taking a look at the packaging. So taking a look at the packaging, the Daleks are housed in the lovely blue and white style guide with the TARDIS on the side. You've also got the golden limited edition foil stick, as well as some additional information at the front. And then moving it to the back, you also have a synopsis about the Daleks master plan, promotional imagery of the Daleks themselves, as well as some additional information about the props. Now, if you're a sad bloke like me, you'll find this very interesting. But I only ever read it once and it goes in the bin. And then opening up the box, you have a lovely rendered photo of a Dalek shuttle that was used within the story of the Daleks master plan, and it's got so much detail. I do wish I could keep a hold of these boxes, but unfortunately with the limited space that I've got, it's just not possible. So the figures that come in this set are the Supreme Dalek from that story, as well as the Pyroflame Dalek. So these have both been released before in previous sets, but these have been long overdue, as a lot of people did miss out on those previous Dalek toys, as the Supreme Dalek was a Toys R Us exclusive, and the Pyroflame Dalek was a Forbidden Planet exclusive, Underground Toys, or whatever you want to call it. These Daleks are different to the ones that were released many years ago, but it is nice to have them for people who miss out on these, as they were very hard to get a hold of, but it's nice to see that collectors now have the chance to own these, so that is very nice. So firstly, taking a look at the Pyroflame Dalek, it's such a cool figure to have. Now, I remember getting the first one and I was absolutely in love with that Dalek. It looks so cool as a figure. It's nice to see this re-released again, and just like the original, the flame is removable. So you have got display options, whether you want to display it with the flame or without. It still looks really cool. Now, one thing to add with the flame itself, that the arm is actually a lot sturdier than the original release. I remember getting the original one, and after a time when you point the flame upwards, the plastic did used to bend. So with this time around, they have made it in a much stronger plastic. The flame itself is a very nice little addition as well. It's been cast in this lovely gel plastic, and I love the fact that it's two tones. So you've got the darker reddish orangey at the bottom with the lighter colours at the top, just like what a real flame would look like. So with the flamethrower out of the way, the figure itself is just a standard drone technically. However, there are a few alterations that are different from this one to the History of the Daleks Set 3 drone. Now, for some reason, they have painted the hemispheres a lighter blue to the other Daleks that have been released. I don't know why they have done this. It was the same on the original release, I believe, and I think it's just to give it a bit of difference between the Dalek we got in the previous set as well as the Supreme Dalek, and technically the hemispheres should be that sort of same colour as the ones on the Supreme Dalek, but that's just a minor gripe. Apart from that, it's a very, very cool figure. Again, the Dalek has been painted in that lovely bright silver that I absolutely adore. It also features the very light egg cup dome lights. Moving on to the eye, the silver has been painted on the eye stalk itself with the very light pale blue rings, which is very lovely. The eyeball at the end has been painted in a matte black with the white iris. Now, there seems to be a little bit of paint bleed on mine, but that can be fixed easily by painting it, but it does look very nice here. Moving down to the neck bin, again, you've got all these lovely grating detail on neck section, which I absolutely love, and the rings have been painted in the silver as well. And then moving down to the mid section, the slats have also been painted in the very lovely bright silver, and again, just like the previous set, for some reason the mid part has been painted in that light grey again. It's the same on both of these new sets. I am not a fan of it. I mean, I didn't know if I would like it or not, and yeah, I'm not a fan, unfortunately. Again, I don't know if this is because it does make these figures a bit more accurate to the previous ones. I really don't like it, in my opinion. Finally, moving down to the skirt section, the silver has been added onto the skirt. It looks really nice and vibrant. And then with the hemispheres, for some reason, they have painted them in a lighter blue Now, I don't know why they've done that. It should be more like the ones that were on the Supreme Dalek or like the later Dalek releases, as I think by then they did paint them a darker blue. I could be wrong. They could be that colour. But that is the only major gripe I've got about this set. It could be just something to add variety or differentiate the Daleks between the pair of them. But it's still a very nice figure nonetheless. And then finally, to end the figure, you have got the black base that every 60s Dalek has got. The only thing I would admit, though, it's a shame they didn't add all the sort of distress like they did on the first two sets to make it look like the prop had aged. So it's really nice that we get to see this Dalek being released again. Now, I'm not 100% sure on some of the paint apps that they've used on this figure and all the tweaks, but it is nice for fans who missed out on that original release, as this is at a much more affordable price this time round, and it is good for collectors who did miss out on that initial release. Up next in this set we have the Supreme Dalek. Now again, this is a very rare figure that is very hard to get a hold of, as this was originally a Toys R Us exclusive. It was an absolute ball ache for me to try and find one of these. However, I did find this set on eBay about a month or two before this set came out, so it's a bit of a kick in the teeth that I've spent quite a bit of money on that set when this one was coming out. But it's nice to have a bit of variety, as this Dalek is different this time round from the original release. So, just like the other Dalek, it has the egg cup dome lights, the same amount of rings on the eye stalk, painted in that lovely baby blue. And the only difference here on the eye is that the pupil has been painted smaller to make it look like it's squinting. Again, a very cool touch, and it adds a bit of variety to the original release, so it is a bit different if you want to grab this one. So moving down to the neck bin, the black sections have that lovely grating detail, just like on any other classic Dalek that's been released, and the rings have been painted in that lovely vibrant silver. Moving down to the midsection, the slats have been painted in that lovely silver again. It also has that very questionable light grey that's been painted in the midsection as well, and you also have the plunger arm and the gun painted in a vibrant silver also. And then moving down to the skirt section, the skirt has been painted in this lovely matte black paint, and it just looks really nice. It's the same on the dome as well. It's an absolutely lovely finish. I do love it when they do paint the Supreme Dalek in this lovely matte finish. And the hemispheres have been painted in a darker blue to the Flamethrower Dalek, and there doesn't seem to be any paint bleeds here. Everything looks really nice and tidy. And to finish off, you have the basic black fender with the wheels on the bottom. In terms of articulation, it's pretty simple. They're exactly the same as any other Dalek toy. So let's grab this one. I can pivot up and down. Dome can do a full 360. There's articulation in the ball joints for the plunger and gun, and has also got wheels on the bottom. And the front one is actually a rotating wheel, so that's pretty cool. So overall with this set, I think this is a must-buy for people who did miss out on those two original figures, as they are very hard to come by these days and can be rather expensive. If you have got them, they do work as an army builder set, as if you wanted more of the Flamethrower Daleks like myself, this is actually a must-buy as well. And if you wanted another Supreme Dalek, then you have another one. But it is finally nice for collectors out there to be able to get these. Now, they are still in B&M at this very moment, and they are still available on eBay and other websites as well, at a slightly higher price, but it's still worth it if you want these figures. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the review. My next review, whenever that will be the 5th Doctor and TARDIS. And yeah, stay tuned for that. Bye for now.